Hey everybody, it's Craig again. It's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. It is Friday, TGIF, January the 9th. January's flying by. It's good. I hate January. Oh my God. It's such a long, dreary, dark month, isn't it? Oh, so it's flying by. It's almost one third of the way done. And if you notice, it's getting light out again, like after 5 o'clock at night. Frankie, that's a good sign too. So it's not that bad. We get through January, February is a short month. March, we change the time back again. It starts to get warmer. We get more sunlight. We're getting there. We're getting there. So I just can't wait till spring. Well, anyway, a lot to talk about today. We got the Eagles, big playoff game with the 49ers on Sunday. We're going to talk Phillies today. But before we do, birthdays. Well, today is that beautiful, beautiful Princess Kate, 44 years old. Princess Kate. I love her. I just love her. Like Princess Diana. I love Princess Diana. I was so lucky to grow up during that time when you had these icons. You know, Pope John Paul II, Princess Diana, Muhammad Ali, Prince, all these just iconic people. And now we have Princess King. Oh, God. Happy birthday, Princess King. And you know who else's birthday is today? Let me sing you a song. I know the best episodes of my podcast are the ones where I sing. Oh, so let's do it. You ready? Guess whose birthday it is? Well, this is a tale of a cast of this. She's been here for a long, long time. Da, 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 da. It's an open run. Da, 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 da. I forgot the words. Da, 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 da. Like no single luxury like Robinson Crusoe. It's primitive as can be. So join us at a very truth, my friend. You're sure to get a smile from seven stranded castaways here on Gilligan's Island. I remember that the last I was really bad at the first part, but I'll tell you what did the castaways? We're seven. It's their birthday today. Who is it? Okay. It's Gilligan's birthday. Bob Denver. Gilligan. Gilligan himself. It's his birthday today. And Gilligan, I don't know much about him, to be honest. I just know it's his birthday. He passed away like around the turn of the century, so Gilligan's not around anymore. But happy birthday, Bob Denver. He did a series. He was with Dobie Gillis. Anybody out there like old like I am, remember Dobie Gillis with Dwayne Hickman and Bob Denver? It was a popular show back in the day, Dobie Gillis. Then Bob Denver became Gilligan. Gilligan's Island. And I think after that, he got typecast because you never heard of Bob Denver in anything ever again, right? I'm sure he must have been in some TV shows after Gilligan's Island, but I can't. I, what I do know is there's one castaway who is still living. Tina Louise. She played Ginger on Gilligan's Island. Whoa, 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 Ginger. She's still living. She's the only cast member still alive. There was that debate all the time. Are you a Ginger man or a Marion? Ginger or Marion? Ginger or Marion? Well, me, um, I'll take both. No, I don't know. Ginger's the glamorous movie star, Marianne is the girl next door, the farm girl. Yeah. Uh, I wasn't really attracted to either one of them. What the hell's wrong with me, huh? No, I guess if I had to pick, I would be the Marianne guy. Yeah, she's just down to earth. She's the kind of girl who would make you an apple pie and then kind of take a roll in the hay. You know what I'm saying? Ginger seemed a little snooty to me, up in the up. Hey, here's a little trivia. Do you know who was almost cast as Ginger in Gilligan's Island? Very, very close. In fact, it came down to Tina Louise and this other actress. Who was the other actress? Raquel Welch. Can you believe that? Raquel Welch was almost Ginger in Gilligan's Island. I saw a picture of her. She was dressed up like Ginger with the cut off short. No, that's Marianne. Anyway, she had the glamorous. She was very close to being Ginger. I wasn't meant to be. So anyway, after Gilligan's Island, the skipper, remember the skipper? He was like my favorite. Alan Hale Jr. After Gilligan's Island was over, he had a restaurant, very successful restaurant in Los Angeles. It was called something like this, the Skipper's Seafood. It was a seafood restaurant. What else would you have with the Skipper, right? And he actually worked there. And he was like the maitre d'. He would be the guy who would greet you when you came into the door. Oh, little buddy, welcome to the Skipper's. Welcome to the Skipper's restaurant. Oh. And he would greet you, take you to your table, and have a fine meal. That kind of thing. And it was very successful for him. But anyway, I digress. Happy birthday, Bob Denver, wherever the hell you are. I always get him mixed up with John Denver. They're two different Denvers. Oh, by the way, yesterday I wasn't on, but it was Elvis Presley's birthday yesterday. He would have been 91 years old. Can you imagine the king of rock and roll being 91? Oh my God. I saw some video from Graceland, and they were celebrating Elvis's birthday down there, and they had some flowers, which was really nice, some roses at his gravesite there in the meditation garden at Graceland. And they had a bouquet that with the 9 and the 1 made up of roses, 91. And I just can't picture Elvis being 91. That's the thing. It's a shame when you die early like that in life, like John Lennon did, JFK. But the thing that happens is you are forever frozen in time. We can't conceive of John Lennon being 90, Elvis or JFK. They're always frozen in time as they were, young, vibrant. That's, if there's any good side to it, that's the good side, because you remember them as they were. It's never get old. So happy birthday there, King of Rock and Roll, Elvis Presley. Who knows what Elvis would have been doing, huh? I don't think Elvis would have started singing at 91. Well, since my baby left, I found a new dream singer. Blue suede shoes, a horny. Anyway, I don't know. Elvis, I think, would have still been around. He was just that kind of guy, Anyway, hey, you know what today is? Apricot Day. Does anybody still eat apricots? Apricots are one of the mystery foods in life. Don't you agree? Like, nobody eats apricots. Then you have the babies, they get a baby food. They with apricots and the spoon in their mouth, eat your apricots. I never liked apricots. It's one of those foods. Do you have apricots in your kitchen, in your refrigerator? I don't even know what you put in the refrigerator. And you don't eat it for Christmas. Thanksgiving. What are apricots? What are they? Why are they here? I'm thinking like maybe aliens brought apricots down to Earth or something, you know? I just, I don't know. I have not had apricots since I was a kid. And even back then, I didn't like them. Ugh. Maybe that's why I didn't never had them again. I don't know. But it's apricot day. So apparently somebody likes them to give them a day. It's, it's Lord knows why. It's beyond me. All right, let's talk about the Eagles. Well, needless to say, it's a big game on Sunday. It's the first playoff game, and they're playing the 40 Liners. That's what I call them, the 40 Liners. Um, the line keeps going up, and when the line first came out last week, the Eagles were 2.5 point favorites. Then it went up to 3. Then it went up to 3.5. And now, last time I looked, it's up to 5.5, which means that somebody's betting on the Eagles. There's money coming in on the Eagles, and rightfully so. 49ers have to play in Philadelphia, and it's going to be windy and cold on Sunday. And they're all banged up. I think that's the major thing. 49ers had a tough game last week against the Seahawks. The Seahawks really punished. They beat the hell out of them. And the 49ers were already good in the missing some key players. Now it looks like George Kittle is going to play this. We still have Christian McCaffrey. We got to keep an eye on him. Brock Purdy. But they're not their grandfather's 49ers, you know. Eagles playing at home. I think will be motivated, back playoffs again, defend their Super Bowl title. You know, the Eagles are still world champions. Never forget that. Somebody's going to have to beat the Eagles to take that away from them. And I don't think it's going to happen at home. I just don't think it's going to happen. I see Eagles getting off to a good start. Eagles could really go after this team in a lot of ways. 49ers are not good at defending. So, say for Barkley, I personally think that Jalen Hurts is going to have a really good game. I think he's going to run the ball more than we've seen. I think he's saying he was saving himself. I don't know, but I think he's going to let loose. This is the time, boys. This is the time not to hold anything back. This is the time to let it all hang out. But I think Jalen Hurts is going to run, which is going to make the offense more effective because you're not going to be able to get the 49ers defense is going to be able to cheat. They're going to have to protect the other side there. Gives Jalen Hurts fakes the handoff to Saquon, runs around the end. And they're going to have to protect him. I just think Hurts is going to run towards going to call a few quarterback draws. We may even see the push tush come into play tomorrow. Lane Johnson's going to be back apparently, so the offensive line is going to be a lot better. Let's hope that Jake Elliott is in his funk as far as kicking is concerned. Although it is supposed to be pretty windy at the lake on Sunday. I think Jalen Hurts is going to throw for at least 250. Do I? The 49ers secondary gets really banged up. They didn't have a great secondary to begin with, and it's really bumped up. So I see A.J. Brown having a big game. I see Devontae Smith having a big game. Don't count out Dallas Goedert when you're down here in the goal line. He has, 10 touchdowns this year? He's the go-to guy when you get into red zone. And the 49ers linebackers are very slow and very weak, and they are banged up. So you might be able to, I know Jalen Hurts doesn't like to throw over the middle, but you may be able to make hay with Dallas Goedert over the middle. So I'm just saying. So there's a lot of ways this Eagles team could attack the San Francisco defense. You would think with the wind and everything, it'd be a lower scoring game. Playoffs. But I think the Eagles are going to do their share score. They're going to score at least 24 points. I know the Eagles' offense has been, everybody's blaming the offensive coordinator, Kevin Padula. But I think the Eagles are going to burst down the city. I just think it's going to be Eagles 24 at least. Eagles 24, 49ers 10. I don't think the 49ers are going to score that much. The Eagles have to, I'm sure they watched last week's film of the Seahawks. The Seahawks really bottomed the 49ers. And the key is you have to put the rusher on Brock Purdy, make him roll out in the pocket. He's not as good. Not as good. You can't let him sit back there and pick you apart. And I think Vic Fangio, our defensive coordinator, is going to come up with a really good game plan to get after Brock Purdy. You got to, first of all, you got to shut down Christian McCaffrey. You can't let him go wide, because if you do, he will, both in the air and on the ground. This is a guy who accumulated over 1,000 yards on the ground and in the air this year. He's always dangerous. So you got to keep an eye on Christian McCaffrey. If you shut him down, as Seattle did last week, you have a good chance of beating the 49ers. Hello, dogs. George Kittle's always dangerous, but the Eagles always cover tight ends pretty well. And the San Francisco 49ers receivers don't scare me. Jennings, yeah, he's okay. He's okay. But he's not a great chick. He's a Jerry Rice. So shut down McCaffrey, get after Brock Purdy, make them kick field goals, no touchdowns. And that's a great recipe for the Eagles to win. Control the ball, no turnovers, don't give the 49ers a short field. When you get into red zone, you got to score. Use Dallas Goedert, use your guys. Devontae Smith, they're all there. This is it. This is it. This is what you go through training camp for in the heat of the summer. This is what you go through the whole season to get to the players on the road to the Super Bowl. Okay, so this is it. No holding back. You got to take it to the 49ers with summer. Take it to them, and I think they're going to fold like a cheap suit. Now, what we want to do, if we're Eagle fans, we want to root for the Packers Saturday night to play at Chicago, to play the Bears. The Bears. We want to root for the Packers because when the Eagles beat the 49ers on Sunday, if the Packers beat the Bears, all of a sudden the Eagles jump up to the number 2 seed in the NFC. Because the Bears are out. The Bears. That way, if the Eagles play the Packers next week, they're playing them at home. If the Eagles play the Rams next week, they're playing them at home. Right? The only way the Eagles can play an away game is if they play Seattle and Seattle, which would be tough. We'll cross that bridge when we come to. So let's root for the Packers Saturday night to beat the Bears. Otherwise, we're going to have to go to Chicago. Now, it's not like we can't win at Chicago. We're not talking like the Bears were like this great dynasty team. They beat us earlier in the season, okay. But Eagles would have a little revenge, and I think the Eagles could win in Chicago. Look at the Lions destroying the Bears last week in Chicago. Anyway, so let's root for the Packers on Saturday. The rest of the football weekend's going to be really interesting. We got the Rams playing at Carolina tomorrow. It looks like that game's going to be in the rain. Rams got beat by the Panthers earlier in the season. Shockingly. I think the Rams will come back and destroy Carolina Panthers tomorrow. And then you got the Bills and the Jaguars. I love that game. The early game on Sunday. The Jags are a hot team. They've won like 9 in a row. The Bills, you can't count the Bills out. The Bills have Allen, the quarterback. And the Bills always seem to, like, when are they going to get to the Super Bowl? Oh, it's the Bills' year. The Bills are going to get to the Super Bowl. I hope they do. I hope it's Bills Eagles soon. I really because the Bills, that Buffalo fans deserve to get to the Super Bowl, if not more. Talk about a long-suffering fan base. But it's going to be tough for Buffalo because they're playing in Jacksonville this week. And I think it might rain down in Jacksonville this weekend, too. It's not going to be easy to beat the Jaguars. They're a hot team. So see how it goes. Now, the Sunday night game, I got New England at home hosting the Chargers. The Chargers have to travel all across the country and play on the Sunday night game. The colder it is, the better it is for New England. Because Los Angeles, they're not used to playing in the cold. They're used to playing inside. So, New England's favored by 3.5. New England they have been destroying people. But who have they played? Look at who they're beating. They're beating the Dolphins. They're beating up on the Jets. The Patriots are good, but look who they're playing. Drake Bay he's a really good first-year quarterback, but he's playing against Justin Herbert, who's an experienced guy. That may be the difference. I don't know. It's going to be hell of a game. Just keep in mind, Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert. Boy, that was profound. Justin Herbert is just Justin Herbert. And the final game tops it all. Monday night, Houston Texans playing our cross-state rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh. And the Steelers are 3-point underdogs. Well, the Texans have a hell of a defense, but they don't really have an offense. Pittsburgh, they're the same way. But you know what? Pittsburgh always seems about a little bit. They're not helping them. Really? To me, I'm proud to go for the Steelers. And no, being COVID, we had some Redskins Pittsburgh. Houston's not used to that. Houston tells them the controlled environment too. So, I don't know, God, I don't like the Steelers. And I don't think the Steelers would get to the Super Bowl, but in the back of my mind, there's always a possibility of Pennsylvania Super Bowl. Remember we talked about this last year when last couple of years when the Steelers were really good, when they had Ben Roethlisberger and those guys. We said, wouldn't it be cool if there was a Pennsylvania Super Bowl? The Eagles against the Steelers, Philadelphia against Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl, really? It's like a wording of like the Pennsylvania team. Let's care. Okay. But it would be kind of cool. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but yeah. Tonight, well, yesterday kind of started the full weekend with that college game, The University of Miami survived against Oregon State tonight. Indiana was great college team. I believe it's going to take the whole thing. They're playing against Florida. And I think Indiana, nobody's going to stop them. Come on. Indiana's going to be. So, we got football coming out of your ears. Those poor people out there who hate football, the football winners used to call them, poor things. They're either going to have to find something to do, go to the movies, or sit there and eat snacks. I don't know. But what a dreadful weekend. Not for me, a football fan, it's like a great weekend. Be probably even better than like next weekend because you have all these teams playing. It's wild card weekend, and you have possibilities of what's a great weekend for me. Last thing I want to talk about, Phillies. They have a meeting scheduled with Bichette on Monday and Monday afternoon. And the talks are heating up. You know, Bichette, this infielder, used to play for the Blue Jays, he's led the league in hits twice. He hit over 370 in the World Series last year for Toronto. He's a free agent, and the Phillies are courting him. And oh my God, would he look good in the Phillies lineup? Bichette can hit, and he's only 27. He's going to be 28 in May. The only question is, where would he play? Because he has like a pop gun arm. He doesn't throw. And if the Phillies thought about trading out Bo and putting Bo at third base, I don't know if that's going to work because Bichette's arm isn't that good. There are thoughts on the dogs. It's a dog's room. There's thoughts of putting Bichette at second base, but you already have a Ben Glover and Bryson Stott at second base. You could put Bichette at shortstop, which he's playing before, and put Trey Turner somewhere else. And I don't know if Trey Turner's going to like that. So where do you put Bichette? Some people have said left field, but if he's got a bad arm, what are you going to put Bichette in left field for? He can't throw. The one creative thing I've heard, this is between you and I, is put Bichette at first base. That way you don't have to worry about his own. Bryce Harper could move back to the. And he had said last year, he said, if you find a good first baseman, I have no problem moving back to the outfield. Yeah, because apparently his arm was healed after he had the Tommy John surgery. They put Bryce Harper back in right field. He was a decent right fielder. Then what you could do is in left field, you could platoon Adolis Garcia, who you just got, and Brandon Marsh. You could platoon them lefty right. Play Justin Crawford, the kid, the rookie, in center field. Bryce Harper remains right field. Bichette anchors down at first base. Works for me. That way, if you want to keep out you keep out you keep Bryson Stone second base. There might be some talk of moving out anyway because he's a free agent. And then you're going to have to pay him the money or he's going to walk. So why not get something for him now? And today is the deadline, my friends. JT Realmuto needs to give the Phillies a yes or no today, whether he wants to sign with them. He has dragged his feet long enough. JT, are you going to sign with us or not? Because if he's not, that's going to free up a lot of money to go after a Bichette. Or maybe even like bring a Ranger back, Ranger Suarez, which I think is a good idea. To me, you can never have enough pitching. And starting pitching was the Phillies' most positive unit last season. To me, I think you got to bring Ranger back even before JT. I understand catching is key. But JT is going to be 35. JT's offensive skills are starting to dwindle. You are going to be able to play JT every day anyway. He's getting to the point where he's going to have to DH some days or play first base himself. JT's a hell of a catcher, but he's getting old. I wouldn't mind letting him go. Think about all the money you have to pay JT. You could use that money in other ways. Catcher, Maybe you trade Alco and you get yourself a catcher. Maybe you get Ryan Jeffries from Minnesota. Maybe you get Adley Rutschman from Baltimore. Or here's thinking out of the box. Why don't you try to see if Logan O'Hoppe, who was once the Phillies' #1 prospect, why don't you see if he's available? I've heard that he has fallen out of favor out there with the Angels in California. Well, if they're not going to use him, Dave Dombrowski, why not bring him back? He's only 25. He's already proven that he can hit. He's got power. He needs work defensively. I think that's why the Angels have kind of soured him. Plus they've got some catching prospects out there. Why not bring back O'Hoppe, let him be the everyday catcher along with Marchand, and go from there. You can suddenly have a young catcher who could be your main catcher for the next 10 years. And you're not going to have to pay him as much. So there you go. Dave Dombrowski, think out of the box, okay? Do something. Get off your keys and do something, okay? But anyway, it is exciting. It is good news that the Phillies are meeting with Bichette Monday. Do not let him leave town until he signs on the dotted line, Phillies. Because if he leaves town, that's not a good sign. That means that he doesn't, he still wants to think about things. You haven't closed the deal. There's a possibility he could sign elsewhere. So overwhelm him with kindness. Give him cheese sticks from Pat's. Give him anything he wants. All the soft pretzels from Philly Factory. Give him a key to the city. A little Liberty Bell and give him whatever the hell he wants. Just keep him in Philadelphia, okay? And I think you're really, Bichette, if you're a baseball fan, you're gonna really like him with Phillies uniform. I just think he brings youth, he brings talent, he makes contact, he doesn't strike out all the time, and he's a hell of a hitter. And imagine what he could make that line. Imagine the top of that line. You got Turner and Bichette, and then you got Harper and Schwarber. And we're not even talking about the bottom line. It's those 4 guys at the top of the lineup. You tell me which baseball team has a better top 3? The Dodgers? Maybe. Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. But Freddie's getting up there. Philly's top 4 in line would be pretty hard to beat. So, Dave Dombrowski, make it happen. Don't let him leave town. All right, everybody. I'll see you probably Monday. We're going to talk Eagles, wrap up that game. Eagles victory on Sunday, go to 49ers. And we'll look ahead a little bit to next Sunday. 1 week at a time. If you're going to the game Sunday, enjoy it yourself. Bundle up. It's been really cold to have fun. Now I'm going to be hunkering down here at the home. It's not like a nursing home. It sounds like the home on a nursing home. I'm going to be hunkering down right here. And I'm going to be having my snacks and my beverages. And I'm going to, 4:30, I'm just going to be yelling at the TV. Go, 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 go. Eagles, Eagles, fly, Eagles, fly. Da, 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 da. So, 24-10 Eagles. And everybody, peace and love. And I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the football. Cranky. Go Eagles. See you next time.